Alright, here we are on day 3, and you've got your two yo-yo halves that have been varnished, and I've now switched to wood, but still the same principle. And what you need here, you need yourself your pencil, as always, nice and sharp pencil, you'll see why later, and you need your yo-yo assembly parts, and this is found in the resource cabinet. You need one kit per yo-yo, and do not lose these parts when you dump them out. Make sure you take care of it. You have one little axle, and you have two brass tubes. You have two inner hubs, these little brass hubs, and not to be confused with the two hub caps, these silver caps. These are, you have to know the difference between the two because you can't put them in the wrong spot. And then you've got this bearing here. Make sure you don't lose it. Just get it all out if you'd like. And the string, just do not pull the string apart. You can end up with a knot, and just show you later when we get to it, but be careful with the string. Alright, what you need to do is you need one brass tube, one inner hub, and one hub cap. These three parts and one yo-yo halve here. What you can do is simply slip the brass tube on the inside so it fits just right inside there, and it will pass, it'll slip back and forth quite easily. Now the hub cap, this part, the silver part, must go, it's smooth, and it's going to go on the outside of the yo-yo. And it's important that you put it on the right side. You don't want to mess this up and put it on backwards. The inner side, where it's flat, where the string will be, goes this inner hub, and fits in just like that, and it'll slide around like that. It's not meant to stay. You can see it fall apart pretty easily. Now what you're going to do here is, it's important that this gets, we're going to put a little glue inside here, and it's important it gets sealed well and it gets crushed really well. So what we're going to do is, we have this vise here, and this is quite a powerful little vise here, and it's got these smooth jaws on it, and I'm going to tighten it up just a little bit here, just so it holds in place. So I've got it there so you can see it, and there's plenty of room there. You can see the inside of that. And what you want to do here is, you've got a glue bottle in your box here, and what you can do, just need a little bit of glue. There should be a small stick inside of the box as well, one of these pieces of balsa wood, and you can take one of the bags and you can just put a little drop of glue on the bag. You don't need much, just a little bit. You don't want to get messy with it. And you can see inside here where I want to do this on the inside. I don't want to glue on the outside over here, because that's where, if you get a little glue that slips out, you'll see that all the time. It won't look as nice. We want to do it in the inside. And just take this balsa wood stick and just dab it in the glue a little bit. Just get a little bit on there. You don't need much. We're just talking about a little bit, and just put it on the inside of this inner tube. And just a little bit in there. Set the stick back down on there. And when you, now this is the part that's really important that you understand. This needs to be extremely tight. So I'm going to just crank it down, and it will force those two pieces together. And right here it's kind of tight, but if I just loosen this up right now, this will spin, and that's not acceptable. If any extra glue's out there, I'm going to wipe that off. But this spins right now, and your yo-yo will not work very well. So I wouldn't even take it out. And what you need to do is turn the vise until you feel it go snug. Once it's gone snug, give it a little bit of a pull to make it a little bit tighter, and that should be it. You don't want to over tighten your yo-yo, you could break it. And that will really give you a secured yo-yo where these pieces are really smashed together. Now this won't move, and by the time you get this home, that glue will really dry off, or dry on the inside, and that will be really secured quite well. So again, here I will get my other yo-yo halve. Being super careful, don't get in a hurry, putting this silver part on the outside, this part on the inside, and bringing this down a little bit. Again, a little bit of glue, just to help hold that in there. And spin that as I tighten it down. Nice and tight. Now before you move on to the next steps of putting this together, I would go ahead and get your yo-yo halves so they are assembled this proper way. So you have these two pieces put together. So maybe pause the DVD and assemble your two yo-yo halves. And you have your axle here. I'll sit back down here. And you want to slip this inside here. It's quite simple, and just goes right in here, and you turn it clockwise, righty-tighty, and you can actually over tighten this. That's plenty good. You need to take the little bearing, the small little bearing, and slip it over this edge here. Now I'm able to slip that on there and pop it into place. Now if you can't, what you might be able to do is take the vise, almost close it, and push down on it, and that bearing will pop down in there where you want it. Then what you simply do is, you again, like I showed you, take the two pieces and put them together. You just spin them together like that. Now this is really a good snug fit. It's quite nice. One thing you don't want to do is try to over tighten it, because I can break that glue loose and that hub loose. I can over tighten it, or that's just going to harm your yo-yo, and eventually you'll allow it to spin in there freely, and then your yo-yo won't perform the way you'll like it. So now you've got your yo-yo. So that's quite nice. Now we'll talk about the string. Put the glue bottle away. You can throw your bags away. This stick we'll just throw in the box and let the next group use it. Now, with this string, you want to make sure you're kind of careful. Don't just start pulling hard on it. That's probably the worst thing you can do, is just yank on it real hard. Just kind of pull loosely until it kind of starts coming undone, and it'll just kind of unravel in there. You've got two ends here with this yo-yo. One, you've got a little loop at the end and a knot. This is the end for your finger. Your finger is not made to go through this hole though. It's not a universal finger size. What you need to do is take the string and put it through this hole, and then that allows you to have an adjustable finger loop here. Okay? You put that on your finger. What I'm going to show you next is this is one string that's been doubled back, and so it's got a end here that we need to untwist. And we've got a little trick to show you how to get it untwisted, because we need to create a slip knot. This is the end that goes around our yo-yo and how we attach it. So what helps is if you that pencil I was talking about, your sharp pencil, that real nice point on it is helpful for this part. And what would be nice is just put it in the vise right there, so you have it, and then take the end with for your finger. We'll stand up here, and I'll put it up over here in this little screw eye that's attached to the workstation here. And you don't need to, I wouldn't pull it real tight, just set it there loosely. It doesn't need to, there's no need to pull it tight, that'll just make it hard to get off. Now, with this here, I would take maybe about an inch back, you know, just guess, a little ways back, and kind of hold tightly on the string, and you have to unravel it. So you have to twist the opposite direction and unravel it. The way it's easy, and you got to force the string back through it, but the way it's easier to do, we've found, that's where this pencil comes in. You poke it through there, and it'll kind of wrap itself up. With this pencil there, obviously stops it. Pull that out, pull the unraveling out, and then you've got this loop here. If I want, I can take my fingers through the hole, grab the string, pull it through, and I have my slip knot there. And this is big enough. What I'm able to do is slip my yo-yo over it. There's my slip knot, and it just pulls down there securely, and then I'm ready to go. And now we can talk about how we do yo-yo tricks. And just basically, you want to first try to be able to operate your yo-yo correctly. In the worksheet cabinet, we have some tricks here for you, and you can take one of those home. First, I'd recommend is trying to learn how to operate the yo-yo. And when you first start wrapping it up, it's going to spin in there. That slip knot's going to allow it to spin. So you got to start loosely, and then I like to tighten it down a little bit and put my finger through here, and you can see that how the yo-yo works. And it worked. I mean, their first try, brand new yo-yo. And so let me talk about how this works, the principles of this. Alright, that works pretty good. When you run this yo-yo, the biggest mistake first timers do with the yo-yo is that when they release it out of their hand, if you watch very carefully, you'll see that it comes out of my hand very straight. Okay? And what you want to be able to do is make sure it comes out, because if it comes out crooked, it won't work out very well. So you really want to try to get it to come out straight. And take some practice. When it gets to the bottom, when the yo-yo reaches the bottom, I'm giving it a small jerk up, and that creates momentum for it to come back up. Once you get a little better at it, you can try different tricks. And as you can see, this is your yo-yo, and I hope you enjoy it.
Sleep! Love your yo-yo. Become your yo-yo. It's an extension of yourself. Look at your hand. It is my hand. I can't tell the difference of where the yo-yo begins and I end. Lord, help me